68% of people in the EU own their home, except for Germany, where only 47% of people are homeowners, the lowest number in the entire European Union. Why is that? Is it because here in Germany you are faced with a brutal choice? Rent and watch your hard-earned money vanish into your landlord's pocket every single month? Or buy, pay high interest rates and tie yourself down to one single place basically forever? Today, we put renting and buying into the ring for 4 rounds of financial boxing for the undisputed real estate championship. So you know by the end of this video what's better for you. Round 1. If you rent, you need almost zero upfront capital. A small security deposit, Mietkaution in German, but that's it. Your cash stays completely liquid. If you buy here in Germany, you need a lot of cash for the closing costs, Kaufnebenkosten in German. The average property purchase in Q1 of 2026 was a little over 300,000 euros. Let's use this number. The average closing cost will be 10%, that is over 30,000 euros just for transfer tax, notary fees, court registration and potentially a real estate agent. And that's the bitter truth, that this money is sunk costs. It does not add any value to your apartment, it just vanishes instantly and is gone. Forever. And on top of that, banks might want to see another 10% of down payment to give you a better interest rate. That means you would need a staggering 60,000 euro cash just to buy a 300,000 euro home. Studies show that only 15% of all renters in Germany have that kind of wealth. That's why your dream of buying a property might be dead before it even starts. The renter takes those 30 or 60k, if he has them, and puts them into globally diversified ETFs to let compounding interest do the magic. Clear victory for renting, right? Not so fast, because buying has an absolute financial superpower, the forced savings effect. In theory, the renter is smart. In reality, most renters lack the discipline. Cash in the bank gets spent on the next vacation or a new car, the classic lifestyle creep. The buyer has one advantage, that the monthly mortgage payment is non-negotiable. You are forced to build equity every single month. If you are trying to figure out if your cash should go into a property or a global ETF portfolio, don't guess the math. Book a free meeting with us right here so we can analyze your financial situation and build a custom blueprint for you. Or join our free webinar on June 23rd. Both links are in the description. Round 2 is the ultimate duel about freedom and lifestyle. As an expat in Germany, your life can change fast. If you suddenly get a dream job offer in another German city, London, Dubai or New York, what do? As a renter, you simply give your 3 months legal notice, pack your bags and leave. But selling a property in Germany can take 6 to 12 months. And maybe it's not a good time to sell because the market is down. You never want to be in a situation where a buyer can lowball you and pressure you into a bad deal. A renter can sell his ETFs within seconds. It might not be the best time, but at least he can sell. Try to sell a single brick from your house to buy groceries. That's not gonna work. And even if you stay here in Germany, your life will change at some point. You get more kids, your kids move out, or you face a separation. That's when the renter just moves. But homeowners often trap themselves in debt capital, living in massive houses that are way too big and expensive for their actual needs. Sounds good for the renter again, But in reality, the German rental market is a war zone. Finding an affordable apartment in Berlin or Munich is an absolute nightmare. And this is exactly where buying strikes back with a big punch. Because as an owner, you have zero fear of rent hikes or the Eigenbedarfskündigung, where the landlord kicks you out for personal use. And you are the boss of your own 4 walls. Want to tear down a wall for an open kitchen or paint the bedroom green? You do not need to ask anyone for permission. That's true independence. And let's be honest, buying a home is the ultimate sign of success. You get 100% admiration from your friends and family, even if 80% of the house still belongs to the bank. And what about the disciplined renter with his invisible ETF portfolio? He usually gets pitied for throwing money away on rent. Now in round 3, let's look at what happens after you get the keys. Is property ownership really a good and secure investment, or is it a ticking time bomb? Renting comes up with a good defense this round because you have zero maintenance risk. If the roof leaks, the heating system breaks down, or pipes burst, you just pick up the phone, call your landlord, and go back to sleep. Under German rental law, keeping the property in perfect condition is entirely the landlord's duty. You as the renter cannot be charged for these repairs, which means your monthly expenses are 100% predictable. But for a buyer, a house is a physical object that is constantly wearing down. You have to save money every single month into maintenance reserve, Instandhaltungsrücklage in German. And under Germany's strict energy laws, like the Gebäudeenergiegesetz, a forced upgrade to a heat pump or new insulation can hit you easily with a surprise bill of 20,000 euros or more. Sounds again like renting wins the round, but here's the punch that gets through the defense. I am talking about the greatest enemy of wealth, inflation. Real estate is Betongold, a physical asset that protects your purchasing power. And the real weapon is that inflation actually burns away your mortgage debt. When you buy a property with a fixed interest rate, your monthly bank payment is completely frozen. It will never go up. And with inflation pushing up prices over 10 or 20 years, salaries in Germany tend to rise too. This means your fixed mortgage payment feels smaller and smaller every single year, and the real value of your debt literally melts away, all while renters face a permanent spiral of rising rents. And last but not least, round 4. Where should you put your money? Is it smarter to spread your money across multiple assets or pump it all into German brick and mortar to lower your tax bill? The renter lands the first hard punch with the golden rule of investing: diversification. When you buy a home, you put all your eggs into one single basket. You take your entire net worth plus massive debt from the bank and bet it on one single building in one single street. That is a massive cluster risk. If a noisy highway gets built next door or the neighborhood goes downhill, the value of your entire life savings can plummet. The renter avoids this gamble completely. By keeping their capital liquid, they can invest in thousands of the biggest companies worldwide through global ETFs. They are protected against regional risks, and their money is working for them across the US, Europe, and Asia from day one. It sounds like renting is the perfect mathematical strategy until the German tax system comes back with the counterpunch. When a renter eventually sells their ETFs to fund their retirement, Finanzamt stands waiting. You will lose roughly 26% of all your gains instantly because of capital gains tax. But if you buy a home in Germany and live in it for just 3 years, you can sell that property completely tax-free. Every single euro of profit belongs entirely to you. Even as a property investor, you can sell completely tax-free after 10 years. And on top of that, if you buy as an investor, you unlock a legal tax haven. You can deduct your mortgage interest, your renovation costs, and even the depreciation of the building directly against your salary to massively cut your income tax every single year. If you want to know how that works in detail, you can book a free meeting with us right here or watch this video right now. Because that is the final bell. Who won this fight and takes home the real estate championship? I am renting and buy investment properties, but let me know your winner in the comments. Thanks for watching und bis zum nächsten Mal.